Gango, how's everybody doing, man? Welcome back to Man Blue FC. My name is Nande, and we're back with another reaction video. And today, a lot of interesting things have been happening in the world of football. A lot that has to do with tables turning. I remember a whole lot of people being on their high horses, all of a sudden are facing charges now. And of course, I'm talking about Chelsea FC. And Mark Goldbridge has some things to say about that, and I just want to see what he has to say about it. I have my own opinions, but then again, who am I as a blue shark? Who am I to have an opinion on such things? Let's just let Mark Goldbridge let us know, man, what he thinks about the whole what he thinks about the whole Chelsea debacle. And yeah, let's just do that right now.
Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge. This is your latest football news, and it's big news around Chelsea Football Club, who have been charged by the FA for 74 breaches of FA regulations. More drama in the Premier League, and I suppose the big question is, what does this relate to, and what penalties could Chelsea face? Now, apparently, this does involve self-reporting and being open to these investigations from Chelsea, which will go in their favour. But points deduction is expected. Now, what does it relate to? And we can talk about what other people have done and what they've received in the past. So It's 74 charges over agent payments between 2009 and 2022, where these breaches
Scandalous Chelsea, man.
have actually happened.
2009 to 2022.
There is a story here from Football Insider from May 2025, where it said that Chelsea could face a points deduction after controversy around their 2012 deal for Eden Hazard, with Roman Abramovich accused of making an illegal secret payment. The Times reported in April that Man United missed out on signing Hazard after they refused to pay his agent, John Biko, a multi-million-pound payment, which would have breached the Premier League and UEFA rules. Now, look, in the fullness of time, we're probably going to find out what this is all about. But if these payments are illegal and it's led to Chelsea getting people like Eden Hazard, who goes down as one of the best players in Premier League history, I mean, it shouldn't just be a slap on the wrist and a bit of a fine, because the difference between getting these players and not getting these players, I think, needs to be a discussion. And I'm sure Chelsea fans would agree. Like, I would like to know, as I'm sure everybody else would like to know, what these breaches pay. Look, the information's there. Give it to the people. What payments did they make that they shouldn't have made to get what players? Because if they made an illegal payment to get Hazard, Man City were in for Hazard as well, and Man United were in for him. So that's quite a significant illegal payment.
That's right.
That isn't as simple as, thanks for helping us with the investigation, you can just pay a fine. Because that particular transfer might have been the reason they went on and won the league or whatever. So, look, we need a little bit more detail.
However, if I'm not mistaken, I think Eden Hazard won the Champions League. I could be wrong about that, you know what I mean? I'm not a Chelsea historian, so you guys will know better than me. Listen, I'm not pointing fingers, you know what I mean? I know exactly what everybody thinks about my football club when these things are concerned. But you know what I mean? I'm just happy that I'm not the one, in the firing line for once.
And I think Chelsea are going to get it in the neck this time. I think there'll be a financial penalty and points deductions. It could be something like 4 points, effectively. So fine and 4 points is what that person has said there. Chelsea will get some recognition for self-reporting the breaches when Todd Boehly and Clearlake did their takeover due diligence. So basically what you've got here is Chelsea Football Club have been doing wrong in signing players between 2009 and 2022. Todd Boehly's come in, and as part of their due diligence, they've uncovered this and told the FA about it. So there has to be some leeway in the fact that this may never have come to light if it hadn't been reported by Chelsea's current ownership, who are saying, look, this was done by the previous ownership. But as I said, again, if these breaches have been done to bring in very good players, those very good players will have made a big difference on what Chelsea's success on the pitch was. So, it leaves a sour taste in the mouth, I suppose. The charges broke down are football agent regulations,
right.
FA regulations on working with intermediaries, and FA third-party investment in players regulations. Now, there is an article on Twitter which Grok has said punishments for breaches, FA breaches vary by severity. Arsenal had a £60,000 fine.
The fact that we're having to rely on AI now for any type of clarification is telling of the times that we live in. But I use Grok a lot, so I'm not one to judge, man. It's just interesting that Mark is one of these people
in 2007 with the Tevez case. Chelsea have
getting these reports and like reporting them directly from the AI.
But ultimately, what I would say is that it's another stain on the game, and it just shows you that these things go on in football. The murky world of football. Surprise, surprise. And this has only come to light because Chelsea have got a new ownership. This was going on regularly between 2009 and 2022. The Man City case, which, has got nothing.
Okay, let me have it.
Was between
let me have it.
And 2017, I think.
That's right.
So the prevalence of these regulation breaches are quite concerning when you look at the success of a Man City in that period or Chelsea in that period. It almost makes you go, why abide by the rules? Because clearly breaking the rules hasn't really done anybody any harm, has it? And I'll say again, the Chelsea thing that they've done, we need a little bit more detail because 74 breaches, but what were they? Like, if it was an illegal payment to get Eden Hazard and it was an illegal payment to get another player, that's very impactful on everybody else that didn't make that illegal payment or the advantage that they get from breaking the rules. It's unfair. If you can get 4 players into your team that are top class by breaking rules, that's going to make you a better team. So, I don't know. 4 points, maybe they'll get a ban, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll get a transfer ban, maybe they won't. But I think, again, and look, I have sympathy with Chelsea. As a fan, you have no say in this at all. And
That's right. That's right, Mark. I don't know why people start blaming the fans for like things that people in the last decade did. You know what I mean?
That was a lovely little segue, but
of course, you know what I mean. Us as fans, we take credit every single time our teams win championships and leagues and stuff like that. But you know what I mean? We just buy the merch, guys. We support the club as best as we can. I don't think the blame or the finger has to be pointed at regular fans for such things. But that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna call a bunch of Chelsea fans that I know personally and gloat a little bit. You know what I mean? Just because of how much pain I've had to endure for, you know what I mean? Well, you guys know, the 115.
There's a real problem in the Premier League at the moment, isn't there, with regards to this type of thing and the frequency of it, the breaking of the rules. The credibility of the league is at stake here, and they need to do something about it because on the face of it, Chelsea might get a slap on the wrist, but we need the detail here because what payments did they make that were illegal and what did they get because of it? Because, on the face of it, it's only paying money to agents. What agent, what player did that agent then go to Chelsea instead of going to Liverpool, or go to Chelsea instead of going to United, or going to Chelsea instead of that? And from a Man United point of view, if we missed out on players because of illegal payments and Chelsea got those players, look at Chelsea's success in the last 10 years and look at United's. We're shit. Maybe if those illegal payments hadn't been paid, we might have got those players. So, look, that's far-fetched, I know.
You'd still be shit, but yeah, I get the frustration.
Detail behind this. Get your comments in below. Make sure you smash a like on the video. What do I think should happen? It's difficult because I feel for Chelsea and their fans and their new owner. But if those breaches are material breaches for material players that directly led to success on the pitch and hindered other clubs, then you have to stamp that out because it might still be going on. My point is, in 10 years' time, we might look back at a current Premier League club that bought really, really well in the window and find out that they're doing it. So there needs to be...
Like United.
Unfortunately, there needs to be a punishment that is that resonates and sends a message. Because how do we know clubs aren't making illegal payments now? And it's just, they need to clean the game up, really, because nobody wants to be hearing about this sort of stuff, do they? Take care. Speak to you in a bit.
All right, people, that was Mark. And listen, there's a few good points that I want to talk about, as far as this is concerned. And come on, man. There's a few good points, right? The first is, okay, first of all, I know I'm a Manchester City fan and I know what side of the spectrum I sit on when it comes to guilt. You know what I mean? When we're talking about charges and stuff. But this isn't a Manchester City video, okay? It's a Chelsea video. So let me just, you know what I mean? Let me take my time with it. The first is to play Chelsea's advocate a little bit. I remember this, apparently the new ownership that found this out and that snitched on themselves about these charges. They've known about these charges for a while. And during that whole time, Chelsea, amongst all these other teams, were one of the teams that like held us to the sword when it comes to Manchester City's charges. So then that lets me think to myself like, okay, well, if you guys or if your ownership knew that you guys would like had some shady dealings, you know what I mean? All the while you guys were like reprimanding us about our, our sketchy dealings. Then it means that, like, what's to say that Manchester United or Liverpool or any of these other clubs aren't doing things on the side and they're just kind of like going behind the guise of, oh, well, we're playing by the rules. It's like, well, are you really playing by the rules? How about we look into your books? You know what I mean? As Matisse said, listen, man, if we look into every single club's paperwork, there's no way that you won't find anything wrong. You know what I mean? There's no club that's playing 100% by the rules. Now, as a club or as a fan of a club that has 115 charges, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are going to look at or listen to what I say and think to yourselves, well, you don't want to hear it from me. It's the right message, wrong message or type of thing. But listen, as far as the Chelsea ownership is concerned, you can do nothing but commend them for coming forward with the information. But as far as the Chelsea fans are concerned, you guys are going to have to hold that. You're going to have to hold it. Because I remember a lot of people, you Chelsea fans included, you know what I mean, sitting on your high horse, and now look at you, you're in the same exact position that I'm in. So, yeah. There's a lot more I want to say about this, man, and I will in time, you know what I mean, as I react to more and more videos. But you know what I mean, you guys can leave a like on the video, leave a comment if you have to. I'm sure there'll be a lot of interesting comments. And subscribe to the channel, man. I'll check you guys on the next time. Peace out.